I sent a message from Japan, host country of G7 summit meeting on this year. The Group of Seven is a framework for imperialist world domination. It has brought about sufferings to the people of the world, especially Global South, in many aspects. Here, I'd like to talk about the situation surrounding the G7 summit meeting in Hiroshima, Japan, on coming May 19 to 21, focusing on the ongoing rising military tension in East Asia. The G7 summit meeting in Hiroshima will further escalate military tensions and war crisis in East Asia. We recognize that military tension in East Asia is now growing day by day. This is brought about the US-Japanese strategy of China containment, or the so-called free and open Indo-Pacific strategy. Under the strategy, the US Biden administration has strengthened its military alliances and military collaboration with Japan, South Korea, Australia, the Philippines, and other countries. It has repeatedly held joint military exercises with those countries' forces in different areas in the region. Regarding this, Kishida administration of Japan announced its new security strategy last December 2022. It led further integration of the US and Japanese forces and reinforcement of the US military bases in Japan. At the same time, a crucial decision in the new strategy is possession of enemy base attack capability by Japan's self-defense forces. It's a clear and historic shift from so-called defense-only policies. The Kishida administration also decided double increasing of military spending over next 5 years. Under this strategy, Japan is building and reinforcing its SDF bases now in different islands of Okinawa, southern part of Japan. In this context, the target of the US and Japanese imperialism is the Taiwan Strait. Actually, above-mentioned island is located near Taiwan and may become front line of the possible military conflict. We believe that to stop US-Japanese war provocation and intervention to cross-strait issue is urgent agenda. At the same time, we are witnessing rapid rising military tension over Korean Peninsula now. Massive military joint exercise has been held by US, Japan, and South Korea repeatedly. War exercises were also conducted today. As the statement the ILPS issued recently, we support independent and peaceful reunification of Korean Peninsula and demand to immediately stop imperialist-led war games there. I also want to mention about planned G7 leaders visiting to Atomic Bomb Museum during their stay in Hiroshima. As we are known well, the US atomic bombing on Hiroshima and Nagasaki killed more than 200,000 people instantly, or by the end of 1945. It's a crime against humanity. The sufferings of the survivors and their descendants continue until today. But the US administration, including Biden's ones, has never apologized for it. For the G7 leaders, especially leaders of the US, UK, France, as nuclear powers of the world, visiting to the Atomic Bomb Museum is just a ceremony. In addition, The Japanese government itself has not ratified even the treaty on the prohibition of the nuclear weapons, because they need the US nuclear umbrella and under the US-Japan military alliance. So we oppose such deceptive ceremonies. The Asian-wide campaign Japan, along with other organizations and individuals, plan to hold protests in Hiroshima on coming May. We fight against imperialist world domination and war propagation, in solidarity with oppressed but struggling people of the world. Junk G7. Long live international solidarity.
The National League of People's Struggles